Well, first, thanks, everybody. I mean, thanks for being here, and I'm excited about talking about football. We can talk about the field and on the field and all that stuff, so I'm excited to get going that way. First thing I want to do, Bobby, I'm going to give him this injury. Hey, just so we're all on the same page, this is everything we have. We've got everybody here. Michael Wilhoit, we got a muscle strain. It's in his leg, okay? I mean, I don't think it's going to be too long, but we did put him on the NFI, and we're not going to rush him back, but we're going to make sure that's taken care of. I don't want that lingering. The other guy, Nick Ballore, is sick. Okay, so he's seeing the doctor for the illness, and we'll keep you updated onto that, but he's sick. Medical staff's on everything there. Kilgore, Daniel, the docs and Fergie weren't happy there right at the end of the mini camp where the healing was. They did the recheck before the summer, and they went in, they did something. Okay, not a big deal. It was a quick surgery. It was something. And I feel real good about that now. That's day to day. Let's see where that is. So he's starting on, what's his list is in, he's PUP. Okay, so, but that with Daniel, and again, we expected Daniel through everything. We were expecting sometime towards the middle of training camp. Okay, that's pushed back, but I don't know how far back, but nobody's got us, I mean, we're not in a concern for him, you know, long-term season ending, none of that stuff. Okay, but I don't want to speculate on where that is, but we're getting him real happy where it is now. Okay, so he is healing now, and he's healing well. So that's where we are with that. That's it. That's all we got. And then we just did we just went out, we were just outside. Part of the physical is obviously the conditioning and all that kind of stuff. I was extremely happy with what we just saw. The only fat guy on the field today was me. Okay, so that was really exciting to see, and it was, you could just see an energy and a bounce, and you know, guys excited about doing it. And we're a little different with the way we do that too. You know what I mean? We're not looking to come out and sprint 52 times and you know, put guys in a dangerous spot. What we're trying to do is mimic all the movements that they would do. Our strength staff did a heck of a job. Mimic all the movements that they're going to do once we get into a practice. So they're bending, they're redirecting, they're doing all that stuff in a controlled way, and really felt great with everything we saw there. So I think I've got everybody up to date on all that. Here we go. Anything?
All right, good.
Yeah, hey, we're good.
With Kilgore on PUP, does that put Marcus Martin in the starting rotation at center, or will you go with Joe Looney at that spot?
Yeah, well, they're both going to be in there. You're going to see them both in there. We're obviously, one of the key things with Marcus Martin, and I mean, we're sorting out in there. There's no mistake. Okay, that center guard spot we're sorting out. There's no mistake, nothing to hide. Feel real good about what's there to sort it out. Okay, but Marcus Martin, just his athletic ability, and you know, the length that he has in his limbs and all that kind of stuff, do like him getting work at guard. You know, if he was the starting center, okay, he'd still get some work at guard because he may have ended up being the next guard if we had a problem. So those guys are going to dual train at those spots.
Decided on a spot to put Alex Boone.
Yeah, he's at left guard.
He'll be left guard.
He's at left guard, yes.
And the reason for that.
Well, again, we're just trying, you know, again, you get to game day, and we're talking about, you know, how many offensive linemen you have up. So how can we create some depth there? So when you start talking about playing that tackle spot, you've seen him do that for us on the field before. All right, but now when he's playing the right guard, the stance is the opposite. So now we put him at the left guard, we've got that stance there, so he's at least working out of that stance. That's quite simply and honestly, that's the whole answer.
You've got a lot of young inside linebackers, a lot of potential, I guess,
Yeah.
there.
Real excited about that.
Yeah, who comes up and would play next to Bowman while Will Hoyt's coming back from this minor?
Yeah, well, you're going to see all the guys do. I mean, Nick Moody obviously is going to get some work there, but I mean, you're going to see the guys in there. okay? And that's, I mean, we're looking at that position hard, excited about who's here, excited about what's going on there, you know, but both those guys, obviously, and, you know, Belor was getting some work in there. So, you know, we've got that going on, you know, so he's not part of that right now either. But Nick Moody and Wheeler really come to mind on that one. Shane Scove, too. I mean, you know, you guys have seen Shane. Okay, I mean, obviously Shane coming out of college, and then last year still working through it, and he's been running around really well. But we're sensitive to that position, too, now. We don't want to blow anybody out.
Is Alex going to be working with the first team? Is he a candidate to start at left guard, or are you just getting him reps there?
No, he's starting at left guard right now. I mean, we don't have a depth chart.
Right.
Okay, so I don't want to get into who's starting and who's this and
Right.
who's that. You come out to the first practice and we go line up, Alex Boone's going to be at left guard. Yeah.
Jim, the schedule that you've created for training camp, maybe with a little later times in the day, a couple guys referenced today that they've come to you with some, you know, back and forth conversation of what might work. And could you go into that a little bit and how that back and forth went with the players to figure out the schedule?
Yeah, well, the biggest thing with the schedule, first of all, the schedule and moving it back, I will apologize to the media. Bob brought it to my attention on traffic hours, okay? Honestly, I didn't think of that, okay? I didn't, okay? Not that it would have changed it, but I do want to apologize now. Okay? What we're trying to do is the meeting times in the morning, okay, you're up, you're fresh, okay? So we've got meeting times, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and we're meeting and we're doing our thing. Then you've got a walkthrough. Now being able to have film and take greater advantage of that walkthrough with the new CBA, with the way we have to practice now. So being able to utilize that walkthrough and now come back off the field, have more meetings, come back, review that, okay? Have some substance to that tape and be able to look at that, okay? Make some adjustments, talk through some things. Something always comes up in a walkthrough. So now we're able to utilize that. So making sure that we have that time on both sides, okay? And then we're trying to give them a nice block in the middle of the day there to be able to lift their weights. So, you know, instead of lifting after practice all the time, there'll still be time after practice to lift. But trying to get that up, we want to make sure that we keep the weight room and our strength and conditioning and our regeneration a major part of what we're doing every day. So that's the whole thought process behind it. And we set that up that way. And I went through the medical staff and I went through the strength and conditioning department to get that done. And then I talked to the guys and we adjusted maybe a half hour here and there. And if we can do that, why not? I mean, it's a work day. We all got to work. I mean, so that's how that went.
You still have meetings late at night?
Yes, we have meetings at night. Okay, we're starting in the morning a little bit. We're getting into the nitty-gritty a little quicker in the mornings, but yeah, we'll have meetings at night.
Back on the inside linebackers, one guy that wasn't talked about was Bowman. How is he doing? And he checked out everything okay?
Yeah, what I just saw there was my gosh. I mean, he looked fantastic, and then moving around, he really looked good.
Is he going to be limited, just kind of going through camp these first couple of weeks, or?
I mean, I'd hate to use the word limited, but I will tell you there's a rep count on him. I mean, I'm watching that. I mean, there's a rep count on Joe Staley. There's a rep count on yeah, there's going to be rep counts on guys. Limited, to me, starts taking it into the medical field. It's not the medical field. I mean, some of these guys, before they get tired, oh, he's tired, let's give him a day off. How about let's not get him to tired? I'm talking about the older guys. We know what they can do. They've shown it. They're in shape. So we're just trying to be smart that way.
Will Bowman have a snap limit during the regular season?
No, and I right now, no. I mean, we're not thinking that way, but we're just thinking right now, let's get him everything he needs, and then get him off the field.
Eric Armstead, is he behind a little bit because he missed the offseason?
I'll tell you what, I've been really encouraged with Eric. I really have. Everybody has. Very nice. And again, these last couple of days, we're running around in our underwear, but Eric is in great shape, workout shape. Okay, what you miss is the 8-second explosions of a play. That's what hurts you, that you miss, okay? Mentally, he's doing a really good job. He's got everything picked up. So I don't think he's behind mentally, but physically, we've just got to get, I mean, he's been working, he's in great shape, you know what I mean? But football shape is,
Is he going to be eased into training camp
yeah, I mean, we'll keep an eye on him, but, I mean,
in terms
he's,
of reps? Like you
yeah.
watch him?
Well, we have my approach. I mean, you've seen how I do things. I mean, my approach is I'm looking to get everybody, we practice to get the games. I'm looking to get everybody everything they need in practice to get where we need to be, not more.
Couple more?
From an outside perspective, I think Kogor broke his ankle in October. The fact they had to go back in last month would seem possibly concerning. Is that, can you maybe just speak to them?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to speak here on what I know, okay? And the fix on his ankle, and that's all great. We don't have any issues with that, okay? It came with the healing, okay? Daniel, you know, and some guys, they have old injuries and things like that, so now you're talking about blood flow, maybe you got a little calcium in there, and again, I don't want to quote, okay, but, you know, like a calcium or something gets in there and you don't get the blood flow for the healing, okay, so it was a matter of like a cleanup in that way, all right, and it had nothing to do with the procedure, and that was good, just getting it healed, you know, getting all those bones back to where they need to be.
This is the start of your first training camp. Just your thoughts. Are you at ease? Are you just, is your mind racing constantly? Or things where you want it to be that first day as you get ready to launch this?
No, to be quite honest with you, about 7 days before I flew back here, my mind was racing. That's why my wife told me to change the flight and get out of there. No, it's not, and after this morning, getting with the guys, no, I mean, an excitement, yeah, I mean, yes, there's a definite excitement to get back in there with them, but then being in here this morning with them is very comforting for me.
You've been able to do first, you know, the rookies and some vets reported on Monday. What have you been able to do on the field, and what have you seen on the field from the guys who've been out there prior to today's full squad reporting day?
Well, obviously, with the rookies and all that kind of stuff, any of the team drills and things that we're doing is just to see how much was retained and give us a chance to, what wasn't, identify it and get them up to speed so when these guys get here, we're moving forward. That was the whole thing with the rookies, with some of the vets. They were guys, whether they finished the spring, where they were practicing, but we felt like there was a little, you know, they were working through something, okay, or guys that didn't finish the spring, we wanted them back, and quite simply that was, when you bring them all back on Friday, today, if there's any rechecks or we got to send them for an MRI or they want to do something down at Stanford or something like that, then they end up missing the meetings tomorrow morning because they've got to go get all that done. Now they're tied up in that. Now we're behind the 8 ball. So we wanted to get all those, anybody that we thought potentially we might want to get a relook at, we might want to just make sure we're in a good spot. So we brought them in, we did that. If there was anything that had to be done, it's done through the week, and then we get them out on the field running around, make sure everything checks out so that we can start today and tomorrow morning in a great spot.
All right, thanks, Jim.
Jim,
Can I do,
Wait, here.
Torrey Smith said that he's going to take a 3-week break from social media, but he said that Coach Tomsula would love it if we all threw away our phones. That was sort of his joke earlier. What does it mean to you that?
Here, I'm going to put this here so nobody sees it, but I don't have phones.
But these guys, they seem to get you. They understand you. What does that mean to you at this stage?
Well, I mean, it makes me happy. You know, I mean, it's, Janie, I can't fake it. So, you know, but I think we got a lot of guys here that aren't faking it. So, you know, roll up your sleeves, it's the day-to-day. Who shows up every day? Okay, if you show up every day with a smile, if you show up every day and you're an angry man, okay, be an angry man every day. You know what I mean? Just be that guy. Don't fake it. Be who you are, and let's go. That's it.
All right.
He got one more. I leave here and I get yelled at.
We're not accustomed to such transparency with the injuries. Can you just discuss what's behind that, as far as your thinking, as far as being a little more straightforward?
Well, I mean, the only time I have a problem, and I'm not putting any, this is just me, my thoughts only, okay? As long as I don't feel like it's putting us at a competitive disadvantage to disclose information, okay, I'd rather just tell you exactly what it is. I mean, what do I gotta wait for you to show up tomorrow and look at and go, oh, you didn't tell me that? I personally don't wanna have those conversations. I wanna tell you what it is, deal with the facts, here it is, and we roll. Okay, now I get it, we get into the season, we get into some sensitive times, you have to write things that people wanna read. So you've gotta ask the questions. Quite frankly, there will be times there where I'm not gonna give you the answer, okay? I've asked him if I can just say, no comment. He told me that that was disrespectful to you. So we'll figure out what that term is, but I'll let you know. I'm not talking about it. Ask it 64 ways, I'm not talking about it, you know? So I'd rather just be upfront. I mean, right there, I mean, you're gonna be at practice tomorrow. You're gonna have 3 guys that aren't gonna be on the field. There it is. Good? Hey, thanks a lot.